Somehow, we only leave Old Trafford with 1 point. 1 point. 1 point after the abundance of quality chances made throughout this game today, without Reece James absolutely destroyed and dominated that right hand side. Mason Mount on top form as well too. So many dangerous balls throughout. We only managed to get 1 goal, and what makes it even worse is that we literally concede a minute after scoring. This game proves exactly why we aren't ready to challenge for the title. If this was Man City or Liverpool playing against this very same United team that have many injuries at this point in time, they are literally securing the goals. It's going to be 3, 4, maybe even 5. And until we're able to develop this ruthlessness up front in the final third, until we're able to take advantage of, our momentum in game, we aren't going to secure the title until we get these details done, you guys. In today's match review, I want to talk about some of the positives, and these positives were definitely some players that stood out today. They have to be discussed and praised. I'm going to talk about, our game, the tactics, and other big moments that happened throughout too. So I hope you guys enjoy. Smash a like button. So now we start with the lineup, and today we saw the return of the 3-4-2-1. Now normally it has been like more of a 3-4-1-2 with Mason Mount in behind Havertz and Werner playing up front together, but today the game plan was about having 2 wide cams in the half spaces. Securing the half spaces was the big tactical win on Tuchel's part, and today he did everything right. Today it was about the players having to perform in the field, you guys. It's a symbiotic thing. It's the coach and the manager. You can't have either one. And today, the reason why Mount and Havertz played in the half spaces because it literally took out the Man United fullbacks out of the game. And by taking their fullbacks out of the game, it allowed our fullbacks and Alonso, who was good today, and Reece James, who was just obviously on fire throughout the entire night, able to literally have all the freedom down the flanks. United, their wingers, of course, weren't doing enough to track their wingbacks back. Alanga had a very poor game, in my opinion. It was constantly allowing Reece James in behind, and chelse had a lot of danger to that and difficulty dealing with him by himself. But by winning the tactical battle, essentially by having our wing backs going forward, stretching the game, we were able to constantly find spaces between the lines in front of Man United. And with the quality you expect from your Mounts, Havertz's, Werners, etc., this was more than enough today from like a strategy point of view to be able to get this win tonight against Man United. So that's too cool. He did the right things. Maybe he could have made more changes a bit quicker in the second half. I feel like, my thing with him sometimes is that, if it's not going to plan how it was supposed to be accordingly with how it was worked on in the lab, then I feel like maybe it takes a bit too long to react to, changing things up again. I think sometimes in the Premier League in particular, you have to just like smell the bloods and know when to take advantage of these teams. But regardless, he did everything right today. And yeah, United were quite poor, I have to say. And this what makes me even more frustrated to not be able to get 3 points tonight, because other than one opportunity they had from Ronaldo, which was like the only goal they scored today, there wasn't much sustained threat or danger or much for our defence to worry about at times, which makes this result even more frustrating. But regardless though, that first half, man, where we not creating chances for fun. I'm looking at some excellent crosses inside the box from Reece James and from Mason Mount, and I feel like today they'll definitely feel aggrieved that some of the service and their efforts tonight weren't profited from by people taking advantage of the service being provided to them. Really, really frustrating, especially when you look at the games of Mount, who I thought was really good today. Throughout the game, constantly, his positional intelligence is top class. I mean, this guy knows when to support the fullback, when to go on behind, when to help create the overloads. You need to have smart, tactically adept players, and it's no surprise why Tuchel took very fondly to Mason Mount on a very short notice. Moving on to Reece James. I mean, wow. I feel like this season he's been, maybe I could argue, our player of the season, in my opinion. I just feel like I'm watching the Reece James now that is a lot better than how he started the season. You just see this composure, this presence he has on the field. When he's getting closed down, there's no panic behind having to just release the ball quickly. He's got that composure and belief and the skill in his game to be able to turn these like half situations into ones that profit him. And throughout this game today, United just couldn't get close. They tried to beat him for pace, they couldn't do that. They tried to win the ball off him 50-50, they can't do that. They tried to tackle him 2 men, 3 men, Reece James was getting past them. For me, he's like a genuine world-class player we produce, and he's a player that will get into any team in the world. That's how good he is, in my opinion. I think Reece James, 10 crosses today. I think he literally led everything statistically from like a creative point of view. And the way this guy single-handedly brought an attack on the right-hand side, because before Reece James, you guys, we can't forget those years with Willian and all these other like makeshift fullbacks on the right-hand side. We didn't have that type of creativity, so a big credit goes to him. And for me, you know, a cynical part of me thinks if he was playing for a better team, let's say he was at Real Madrid, you know, Benzema, imagine the service that Benzema would be getting from Reece James. And it's just like, we need to be on that type of level where we're consistently taking advantage of them, because from him and Mount tonight, it was more than enough opportunities made. I'm looking at Werner, I'm looking at Kai Havertz, and I guess maybe it's an opportunity to talk about them. Werner, I didn't think he was too bad, personally. I like now that he's able to actually like be involved in our build-up phase play. I think now that we've stopped having him, you know, turn back to goal and having to like use his upper body strength to like keep possession of the ball in the final third, he's looking a lot better when he gets to like skirt and roam around. But again, he still needs that service, and today he did get it. I'm looking at this great like low driven cross across goal from Mason Mount. Couldn't connect to it. But I think for me, maybe the biggest villain today, even though it's very harsh and strong words, I would have to say Kai Havertz, because he had 3 unbelievable opportunities to definitely get a guaranteed goal. And 3 times he missed them. I'm looking at the header. That was disappointing. I'm looking at a finish when he was 1v1. A great through ball pass from N'Golo Kante, who was very good in this game today, minus that one mistake near the end. But then, even after that miss, you know, Kai is missing another opportunity from a counter-attack, you know, hitting the side of the net. And it's like, it's not the first time we've seen Kai not profit from chances like this being created for him. And back at Leverkusen, this guy was taking advantage of these 1v1 moments. This is where like, yo, this is what Kai Havertz is about. This is his bread and butter. But it hasn't translated enough just yet. And I just get this sense that, is it how we attack sometimes, where it's like, because like the chances made, yeah, they are good, but I feel like, are they like consistently reliable? You know, like as fans, we watch our team play. You know, there's this like, reliable move or patterns of play, or like attacking move where we know this brings a guaranteed goal. I feel like we still don't fully see those like top connections on the field. And you know, watching the Champions League football recently, like, against like, you know, Madrid's, Liverpool, City, seeing how those teams create chances, create attacks, break opposition teams down, I still feel like we are a level behind those types of teams. You know, they create a lot more variety of chances in different unique situations. I feel like with how we create is very much textbook. It's very much, you know, everything's efficient. You know, everything's on the ground. Everything's been studied upon. And it's just like, here's how we're going to play, how we're going to move. And we're going to do the same thing until a goal comes. And I just think sometimes that doesn't always work, because I do feel that maybe opposition teams might feel a bit more confident against us, knowing that they're not going to really be surprised by too much of what we do. I mean, yeah, we tried to show that today, especially from set pieces. I'm looking at like a creative one from Mount, playing like a ball across goal as well too. But it's just not enough where it's going to create unique, dangerous moments for the opposition. I feel like maybe the window can help rectify that potentially, but they're the type of details that I've noticed this season that we need to really work on even more if we want to really challenge for the title for next season. Because, you know, we're much closer to, you know, competing for European places than actually being close enough to actually challenge Man City and Liverpool. And it can't happen again for next season. I feel now is the time to really start seeing some progression at this point in time. But yeah, I think maybe it's time to talk about the goals. Normally when we're struggling to convert chances, the one ever-present person that you know is going to guarantee make something happen is Marcos Alonso. I thought, you know, Reece James, of course, kind of created that move, you know, cross into Kai Havertz, who, you know, I guess his involvement was just like lucky, just like deflect off the back of his head into the path of Alonso, who just hit it. First time volley left foot. I guess eventually when he does leave us, it'll always be like a shame that we didn't even see him play one game up front. Imagine that he was the key and he was like the source all along. That would just be mad. But then, even that way we conceded the goal afterwards to Ronaldo. You know, you've seen the record, Ronaldo never scoring against us. We all know that. Of course, he was going to get it tonight in the most fake moment of all time. Can say it's a weird one because I can kind of forgive him for the mistake he made, even though it was his error. You know, the pass he made was kind of forced to do that. There was no one in front of him. He had to play a low probability ball to Timo Werner. You know, of course, doesn't find him, but it comes back to him, and then he kind of intercepts the ball, but then it just kind of escapes him. No one closes down quickly enough, and Matic, who I thought was very composed and kind of elegant on the field tonight too, loved to pass him behind to Ronaldo. He just needs one effort, and that's that. And I think, imagine if we had like even signed Ronaldo for this season. I mean, that's just one of those things to think about, but still, I thought we had done it at the end. You know, there was a one moment that we missed when I knew, okay, we're not going to get 3 points in this game now. And that was the chance where we hit the post in the end. You know, Reece James, left foot finish. I thought it was destined for the bottom left. I thought we would have deserved it based on how incredible this game was tonight. Great piece of play from Mason Mount to just literally dead the ball with a little back flick. When those chances aren't going in from, like, you know, your most informed player in the game, you kind of know, okay, that's it, game's over and dusted. But I don't know, still, I guess this is really nothing to play for in this game other than bragging rights, essentially. We are going to be like maybe the third best team in the country. We'll probably secure third position, but still, I feel like we can look at games like this, learn from them, and think about the things that we have to improve upon to really challenge City and Liverpool now, because, you know, we can't keep having more games like this where, you know, our level of football isn't getting the results it deserves in the end. But now, before I wrap things up, you guys, a few more quick closing thoughts. I thought Kante, as I said, overall had a good game, constantly sweeping up many counter-attacks against Man United. Yeah, a lot of counter-pressing to as well too. Played 2 excellent passes in behind through balls to find Kai Havertz. On a different day, when people are taking advantage of the good things he did, you know, we recontextualized his performance completely differently. I thought Mount on top. I thought Reece James by far the best player tonight too. I guess ultimately not being able to finish and convert chances. And I think as well, another small detail is the fact that when games are going against us, we don't have solutions to help us turn things around back in our favour. That's also another thing that both City and Liverpool possess, and that's what happens when you have like a quality squad. And maybe Tuchel could be a bit more helpful in these situations. You know, Pulisic, Loftus, maybe if these guys had more time being introduced, things are a bit different. But anyway, we got what we deserved. And on that note, I'm Nini FC. This is Blue Lions TV. I'll catch you guys later with some more videos. Cool.